All right, English 10 and speech students. Both of you are kind of in the same boat. English 10 finishing up our persuasive research papers, and speech students making a works cited for our informative speeches for the sources that we use. So I'm just going to do a quick tutorial for both classes on how to use our MLA works cited citation makers and create a works cited page. So this should look familiar. I transferred it into a Google Doc, which I will post in our folders and you will have access to. All right, so these are the 9 core elements of making a citation. This is where you'll be writing stuff in, and this is the punctuation that will follow. Okay, so my goal is to fill out that citation maker for these 3 sources that I just pulled up randomly. They're just random sources, no real value other than just using them as an example. And then we'll create a works cited together correctly so that you all know exactly how to do it. And truthfully, it'll save me time, especially for English 10 with giving feedback on your rough drafts. So let's look at this. This is going to be our first source, and let's say that this is our first source. National Guard to deploy against coronavirus in New York, California, and Washington. All right, so the first thing I need to do is find the author. All right, now I like this source as an example because it has 4 authors. So what we need to do in this case is simply just look, okay, the first author here is John Haworth, all right, or Hayworth, I don't know how to pronounce it. But in our citation maker, I'm just going to simply put Hayworth, comma, John, because that is the first source, and we want to go last comma first. And then since there's more than 3 authors, we're just going to say et al., and then we make sure we use this period. So I won't put it in there. I'll just make sure to remember that it's right here. The title of this source is National Guard to deploy against coronavirus in New York. National Guard to deploy against coronavirus in New York, and then what were the other 2? California and Washington. California and Washington. Okay, I'm not going to put the punctuation here, but I'm going to know that it's a period. All right, the title of the container. This is essentially the title of the website, which you see in this case up in the top left corner is ABC News. All right, so I'm just going to simply put ABC News. All right, other contributors. This is where I want to look and see if anybody edited it, if anybody used pictures or anything like that. So it looks right here. Rob Carr is another contributor, and we'll just scroll down. Patrick Szymanski, Eduardo Munoz, Michael Kapler. Okay, wow, there is a lot here. So tell you what we're going to do. We are just going to, for the sake of time here, I'm just going to list the first one, but just know that a bunch of different people's pictures were used in this article. They're considered other contributors. So Rob Carr, how about I just put the first actually, to practice this, we'll just go et al., and then we'll follow it with a comma, okay? But just know that this is different than the author. We will need to put all the other contributors. So you need to put Rob Carr. You would also need to put Patrick Szymanski. You would also need to put Eduardo Munoz. You wouldn't need to put this right here, but you just need to list all of their names right here. But for this case, we'll just put et al. Version. That is like volume if it's a specific volume. So in this case, it is not. You would see that probably up here at the top. So we're going to leave this blank. We're going to leave number blank and publisher. Generally, you're going to find the publisher way down at the bottom. It's going to be the company. So ABC's News Internet Ventures. That is going to be our publisher. Generally, you find that with like where it's copyright. Okay, so ABC News Internet Ventures. Now this is very similar to our title of container. so we don't necessarily need it, but we'll include it. Publication date, that's just simply the date that this article was published on, which looks to be March 23rd, 2020. So we're going to put March 23rd, 2020, and then we'd follow that with a comma, and then the location is just simply going to be, you scroll up to the top, I'm just going to copy the URL and post it right here. Okay, and then we'll end that with a period. All right, now if I'm going to go to my second source, let's say this is my second source right here. Now if you notice, I'm not seeing an author here. So if there's no author, just to quickly review, we just skip the author and we go straight to the title. So compaction concerns follow harvest rain delay. So we're just going to simply go here. Compaction concerns follow harvest rain delay. Oops, my apologies. We're going to put that in the title of the source, not the author. We're going to leave the author blank. So we're starting right here and going period. The title of the container here is the title of the website, which up at the top, Iowa Farmer Today. All right, so we're going to go Iowa Farmer Today. All right, other contributors. So we're looking for people that maybe edited this or put in a photo. So photo courtesy of Iowa State University Extension. So we're going to want to put that. Iowa State University, what was it? Iowa State University Extension. Okay, there is no version or no number because nowhere here do we see Volume 1, Issue 3, Volume 2, Issue 17. We don't see any of that, but we do see here a publication date, okay, October 21st, 2018. So we're going to want to, put that in our publication date. I'm going to delete that so you can all see it right here. October 21st, 2018. 21st, 2018. The location, again, is just the URL, which I'm copying right now and pasting, and that's going to end with a period, but I also forgot we need to go get the publisher. So if we scroll down to the bottom, the publisher here would be Lee Agri Media, because we have that copyright in 2019 right there. Generally, it's the company that publishes it. So division of Lee Enterprises, so Lee Agri Media is what we're going to want to put here. So Lee Agri Media. I don't know if I spelled that correctly. Yeah, I did. Oh, okay, the hyphens in between here. Oops. Take that out right here. And then we just follow the punctuation used here. All right, now let's go to our third and final source. All right, Jazz's Rudy Gobert gives startling coronavirus updates. All right, so here we are going to want to look at the author, DJ Cited. Okay, so our author, we're going to want to go last comma first. DJ, we're going to follow out the period. The title of the source is Jazz's Rudy Gobert. Jazz's Rudy Gobert gives startling coronavirus update. We're going to follow that with a period. The title of the container here is the title of the website, which is, you see at the top, Clutch Points. Put that in all caps, because that's how it's written. Other contributors. I'm not seeing any. So no other contributors, no version, no number. The publisher, we're going to want to scroll to the bottom here to find that. All right. Oh man. The bottom here, holy cow. It's a long article. Okay, the Publisher is clutch points, so since it's the same as the container, we don't need it. The publication date being March 22nd, 2020. And then the location is the URL. Okay, so you don't need to necessarily fill out these MLA citation maker sheets, but they're here to guide you. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our actual work cited. All right, so here is just a blank document, and we're going to use this information to create a works cited page. And I have about 4 minutes left on this recording, so I'm going to try to go quickly. All right. So first, what we're going to want to do is make sure that we title it works cited. Actually, the first thing we want to do is make sure that we are Times New Roman 12 font, that the title is center aligned, and that everything is going to be double spaced. All right. Once I enter down, I'm going to switch it to align left. All right. Now I'm going to just simply copy this information. So Hawthorne, John et al. Hawthorne, John et al. And I'm going to end it with a period because that's the punctuation used. Then I'm going to go to National Guard to deploy against coronavirus in New York. I'm just going to simply copy and paste that, and I'll go back and unbold that later. Title of container is ABC News. We have to end that with a period. ABC News, and then we follow that with a comma. Okay, other contributors. Remember, if just to save time, I put the first and then et al., but we're going to want to put all of them because there was multiple in that first one. We're going to end that with a comma, and then we are going to go down to the publisher because we don't have a version or number, so we're going to go to ABC News Internet Ventures. Okay, and we are going to end that with a comma. And then we are going to go to our publication date, which is March 23rd, 2020, and we're going to end that with a comma. And then we are going to simply put the location, which is the location where I would find it. Okay, so if I'm looking for the source you used, this is where I would find it, and we're going to end that with a period. All right, so I'm going to put a period there. All right, now I was just copying and pasting and it was bolded earlier, so we're going to make sure that everything is unbolded. But this is the correct citation. Now, if I was going to put in these other two citations, I'm running out of time here, so I'm not going to. But if I was to put in these other two citations, I would simply just follow the same format with the same punctuation as I did for this first one, all right? Once you have all of your citations put in like this, and you're just going straight in order like this, all right, following the punctuation. Once you have all of them, you're going to want to alphabetize them based off of the first letter or two letters of each citation, all right? So if I was making this citation, I would go Hawthorne would be my second source, okay, because this would be the first letter of my first source, so I put this one first, then this one, and then this one, because C comes before H comes before S, all right? Once I have all my sources in, I'm simply going to do a couple things here. I'm just going to highlight all of my sources. So if I had more sources below, I'd just continue highlighting, all right? I am going to go to Format, Align and Indent, and then Indentation Options, all right? Here I'm going to go down to Special Indent, and I'm going to hit Hanging, and I'm going to Apply. And that's going to hang every line below this first one. So if I had another source, it would be here, and then everything underneath it would be in line with this line right here. But this is a really easy way to organize your works cited and make sure that you are, it's easy for your reader to find what source you are citing. All right, so that is how you make a works cited. MLA format, just quick to end, make sure that your last name and page number are in the top right corner and our works cited or Times New Roman.